Hello friends, it is time to move on and to learn about date and time. So let's get rid of this object, cut it out, copy it into our object label right here. Let me make a breakpoint and paste this in. Okay, so we can now close this up and create a new file, and let's call it number 10 date and time.js. Okay, let's close this up and go back into our app, and let's type in here comment date and time. Okay, there are 4 ways to create a new date object. So I'm just going to first of all initiate a let here. I'm going to call it my initials mbn, and let me copy in these comments. So the 4 ways will be new date, or and open and close parentheses. This will give us a new date, or new date, and you will type in year, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. We can call it new date and milliseconds, or new date, date string. Okay, now let's create a const, and let's call this today. Now let's set it to a new date. So this is a method. And now if I would console log, actually let me set mbn now to today. Hit save, and now let's console log mbn, and let's see what we get. We get today's date, so it's Monday, January the 1st, 2020, and hours and minutes and so far and so on. It also gives us Central Europe summertime. Okay, now let's create another variable. Let's say a let with birthday, and we want this to assign it to a new date. And now let's type in here a birthday. So by using a string, let's type in here 02, 15, and 1986. And also let's type in a time. Let's say I was born at 10, 15, and 00. Okay, so if we would now console log this birthday, let's see what we get. So now we're getting a new date of Saturday. Oh, it was Saturday. Amazing. So it was Saturday. I was born on Saturday, February the 15th, 1968, and time. I could change this birthday. So let's type in here again, birthday, and let's change it to new day, new date. And let's type in here with a string February 15 and 1986. And let's see what we get now. As you can see, we get exactly the same thing, but with the time set to 000. Now let's talk about JavaScript get date method. So let's type in a comment get date method. And this method that I will show you can be used for getting information from a date object. So first of all, I'm going to take our variable let and assign it to the today variable. And now let's assign it a get month method to it. And the get month method will return the month of the date as a number. So if we would now console log down here mbn, let's see what we get. We get number 5, because as you can see up here, we are today in June. So it's January, February, March, April, May is the 5th, and June is actually the 6th. But as you can remember, strings start from 0. So January starts with 0, February is 1, March is 2, April is 3, May is 4th, and June is the 5th, and that is why we're getting the 5th number. Okay, now let's take a look at another method. So let's type in here today dot get date. The getDate method returns the day of the date as a number between 1 and 31. So let's save this, and as you can see, we get 1. Okay, and up here we also have 101. Now next up, we will take a look at getDay. So ambient, and let's assign it to today dot getDay. And this will return the weekday of the date as a number between 0 and 6. So let's close this up. And let's see what we get. We get 1 again. Now the next step will be for year. So ambient is equal to, and we will assign it to today dot get full year. And the full year method will return a year of the date as a 4-digit number. So if we close this up, let's see what we get. We get 2020. Okay, so this is a number. Next up, we will take a look at ambient today dot get hours. So get hours, and get hours will return the hour of the date as a number between 0 and 23, and 0 being the 24th number actually. So let's see, it's 9. As you can see up here, it's 9 o'clock. It's almost 10, but yeah. Next up, we will get the minutes, and for this we'll use today dot get minutes, which will return the minutes of the date as a number between 0 and 59. So let's close this up and let's see what we get. We get 47. Okay. Next up, we will get today seconds. So get seconds. And seconds will return also the date as a number between 0 and 59. So let's close this up and see what we get. We get 50 seconds. And if I refresh this, you can see it's changing the seconds. And if I get to, we got here 47. And now it's past the minutes. So if I comment this out, I will get the minutes again. So let's say this should change to 48. Okay. Let's comment this back in. Next up, we will get from today milliseconds, which will return the milliseconds of the date as a number between 0 and 999. So let's close this up. And as you can see, and if I refresh, this is changing really quickly because these are milliseconds. Now, next up, we will get from today the time. So type in dot get time. And time will return the number of milliseconds since the certain date. So if I close this up and hit save, you can see we have passed this milliseconds since this date. And if I refresh this, you can see this changing. Okay, next up will be how can we set a date. So let's type in another comment, set date method, or methods, because there are many. There are more than one method. Okay, so let's get our birthday again. Birthday, and let's set the month first of all. So set month. Now let me also console log down here so we don't have to type it in 100 day. So we don't have to type it in more than once. So console log, console log our birthday. Now for the set month method, this will set the month of the date object, and it takes in between 0 and 11. Okay, so if I type in here, open and close parentheses, and I will change it to 1, it's set February. Okay, if I change it to 2, what do you think it will happen? Actually, I want to type in 2. We have March, so after February comes March. If I want to get January, then I would have to type in 0. Okay, so now we get January. Now next method, so let's type in here birthday again and dot set date, and the set date method will set the day of the date object between 1 and 31. So let's change this to, let's say, 20. Okay, so now we have January and it's the 20th of January. We can also set the full year, get set full year, and this will set the year of the date object. And in this example, we're going to set it to 1988. So let's see, and we changed our birthday to January the 20th, 1988. I can also set it to, let's say, 2000. You see? Okay, so you can see how it's changing now to the year of 2000. Next up, we'll take a look at setting the hours. So birthday dot set hour, and we can set it to, let's say, 10. So it's 10 o'clock, and if we change it to let's see, 8, now it's 8 o'clock. We can also set the minutes. So birthday dot set minutes, and let's say we set them to 20 minutes. So it's 8 and 20 minutes. So next up, we're going to set birthday, and we can set seconds. Okay, and let's also set it to 20 seconds. So it's 8, 20 minutes, and 20 seconds. Okay, so let me give you an example of how we can compare two dates to a specific date. So I'm going to initialize here. I'm going to initiate here 3 variables. Today, then I also birthday today. I'm going to call this today with a capital D, and then another one someday, and the third one text. Okay, now I'm going to set today to new date, and I'm going to set someday to also a new date. And now I'm going to use someday, and with the set full year method, I'm going to set it to the year, let's say 2022, and 0, so this will be January, and 14th. Okay, so now let's just console log someday, and let's see what we get. We get Friday, January the 14th, and 2020. Now let me create a function, and I'm going to call it the date. I know we didn't learn about functions right now, but this is just an example. And now let's create an if statement, and let's say if someday is greater than today, then text is equal to the string of today is before January 14th and 2020. And now we want to return the text. Okay, and if it's not, then I'm going to create an else statement. It should return a text, and the text should say today is after January 14th, 2020, and this should return then also the text. Now let's console log our function right here. So let's see what day is it. So let me copy the function and type in our console log. Today is before January the 13th, 2020. Now if I would change this to, let's say, 2018, we get today is after January 14th, 2020. Okay, as you can see, we can also compare dates. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it for now for dates and time. See you in the next one. Bye bye.